Hey guys, Michael Stillwell here from Stillwell Pianos in Mesa, Arizona, and I am about to show you a 1915 Mason and Hamlin AA. And the reason that we don't start with Doug playing this piano is because this piano actually has a player system already on it. Another interesting fact about this piano is that we actually rebuilt and sold this piano about 5 years ago. So we rebuilt this piano, we bought the piano, we brought it in, we rebuilt the whole thing, and we sold it to a family in Prescott, Arizona, who have since moved and sold it back to us, which is why we have this piano again. But in the meantime, when they had it, they actually had a QRS Wi-Fi player system installed on the piano. So that's a really cool extra perk now that we have on here. So I'm going to show you how that works. But first, let's talk a little bit about this piano. This is a 1915 Mason and Hamlin AA. If you watched our channel before, you know I talk a lot about Masons. These are my favorite pianos. A AA is a 6'2" piano from the very front to the very back. And these pianos are beefy. These are like the most overbuilt pianos I've ever worked on. If you reach under here and grab this rim, it's about that thick. I mean, these are just really, really overbuilt pianos, which is why most piano technicians just love Mason and Hamlin. This particular one, what we did was we did a brand new pin block in it. This is all 5 years ago, by the way. We did a brand new pin block in it, restrung the piano, we shimmed the soundboard, painted the plate, completely stripped and refinished this cabinet. Since we've gotten it back, we have re-rubbed out the cabinet again and got all of her surface scratches out, so it does look brand new again. Looks like just like all of our other rebuilds out there. It's actually in the same section. You can't even tell that it was in anybody's house for the last 5 years because it was really, really well taken care of. The only thing I will point out is that I think there's two minor, tiny little chips in the paint on the plate in here, probably from a tuning hammer in there. We have put some color in there, so it's kind of hard to find them, but they are there. But first, I'm going to pull the action and show you what we got going on inside, and then we're going to come back and we're going to play this thing with this player system. So let's do that now, and I'll show you how it works. All right, so now I can show you what we got going on inside. So like I said, about 5 years ago, we rebuilt this piano, and when we did that, we replaced all the hammer shanks and flanges with Renner Blues. So all of this part is all new. Everything below here, these whippings, we decided to rebuild them. So we soda blasted them and replaced the center pins and the bushing felt and any felt in them because the wood parts themselves were in really good shape. They just didn't need to be replaced. And so that's what we did. Actually, and same thing with the back checks. Somebody had replaced the back checks at some point fairly recently, so we didn't need to do anything there. With the key sticks, we did rebush the balance rail and the front rail, and then we recovered the naturals and refinished all the sharps. So this thing is all set up and ready for at least another, I don't know, 20, 30 years without needing anything too major. So I'm going to push this action back in, and we'll go look at the player system. All right, so now that we've seen the action, let's see this piano in action. Let's see this player system start to work. So like I mentioned before, this is a QRS Pianomation 3. This is a Wi-Fi system, so you can use an Android device. We're going to be using a Kindle Fire here, but you can use your phone, whether it's Android or Apple. You can use an iPad. We usually recommend that you do have a dedicated device to control the piano because if you ever leave with your phone, nobody else can play the piano. So it's nice to have something that's dedicated to this. So another thing about this, when you get a QRS system, you get the entire library for free for the first year. After that, you pay. You can do a subscription thing if you want. We don't really recommend that. Or you can buy albums individually, which is a lot cheaper and more realistic. But a lot of times the companies like hospitals, you know, big stores, restaurants and stuff that have player systems, they'll do the subscription thing just because they're constantly playing it. But for most people, it's usually better to just do individual songs. So I'm going to hit play on here. This piano does have speakers up underneath it. I'm not 100% sure if the song I'm about to play have background music, but if you have an album that has like, maybe you have an Adele song and Adele's singing in the background, those will come through the speakers, and you can mix that here, turning up the audio of the speakers or turning down the piano, and you can kind of play with it a little bit. But guys, if you have any questions about this particular piano or any other piano on our website, always feel free to shoot me an email at michael@stillwellpianos.com. Thanks for watching, guys.